Now we're going to go to more from Donald Jr. and Eric Trump. President's sons unveiling a new hotel line, taking on their father's critics. They did it with Tom Yamas right here, back with more of his exclusive interview.
George, good morning. The Trump brand has always been a luxury brand, and when it comes to hotels, only 5 stars. But that's all changing. Don and Eric Trump, the president's son, have a new idea, and it came directly from campaigning across the country.
If this looks familiar, the Trumps and their helicopter.
I would say this entrance looks familiar.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
It's because Eric and brother Don are back campaigning, this time for new business.
Well, you know, we used to always joke, hey, we're going to get him elected so we can get a little bit of peace and quiet because he is a tough boss.
Now, Don Jr. and Eric say they're the bosses and working on a new project, budget-friendly hotels called American Idea in Trump country.
And this is real America, and to be able to go in there and, cater to them as well, I think that's a beautiful thing.
I mean, trust me, between Eric, myself, we stayed in every one of these hotels in every little market in the country, and we just saw there was a void missing, and I think we're excited to try to fill it.
What do you think critics may say, American Idea, you're going to build hotels in Trump country? Are you trying to make money off the politics?
It has nothing to do with politics. I mean, we're trying to make money off of a hotel brand that we feel there's an underserved market to. I mean, I think more companies could probably do better by being a little bit more patriotic.
As for their father and his role in the company,
again, I don't have to do this. They're not going to discuss it with me.
Eric says they do discuss bottom line issues about the company with their father, including profit reports.
We don't talk about the activities of the business. We don't talk about what we're doing in the business. We just don't mix the separation.
But by showing them profit reports, that doesn't blur the lines?
It doesn't blur the lines. It doesn't blur the lines. You're allowed to show that. And remember, the President of the United States has 0 conflicts of interest. 0.
The announcement of their new affordable hotel line comes as their father faces maybe the biggest week of his presidency.
James Comey's going to testify on Capitol Hill. Are you going to watch?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Both sons describe the investigation into Russian collusion with the Trump campaign as an effort to undermine their father's presidency.
It's the greatest hoax of all time. I was there throughout the campaign. We have no dealings in Russia. We have no projects in Russia. We have nothing to do with Russia.
I mean, to me, it's without a question, reads and smells like a witch hunt.
The day before President Trump fired FBI Director James Comey, Don and Eric met with FBI agents in New York to discuss an attempted cyber attack on the Trump organization.
Obviously, as a company in America, we're susceptible, like so many others, to potential cyber attacks, and so that was the extent of what I can actually talk about.
Did you ever discuss with your father that you had met with the FBI?
No, we did not.
Let me ask you a question. Was the Russia investigation ever discussed?
No, it was a totally separate topic.
So
totally separate topic, Tom.
But the next day after that meeting, your father fires James Comey as head of the FBI.
Yeah.
Did you discuss that initial meeting with your father?
No, it had nothing to do with the subject. It had nothing to do with the subject.
I understand, but did you ever discuss with your father meeting with these FBI agents?
I did not.
As the president now gears up for his biggest fight, his sons question if he has the best people working for him.
Are you satisfied with the team he has around him right now?
I am, but the immediate team. But I do think there's plenty in D.C. There's probably plenty still in the White House. There's plenty of holdovers, that aren't necessarily working in his best interest.
Do you think there's people that are actively working against him?
Oh, I think without question.
But the West Wing is still a family business in one regard.
What do you think about Jared and Ivanka in Washington? Do you think they're enjoying their time there? Do you think they regret going there?
Well, listen, I think they're doing what needs to be done, just like my father did. I mean, my father didn't need this job. He chose to do this. He knows what comes with it.
The president recently splitting with Ivanka over the Paris Climate Accord.
There is no, Trump whisperer. He listens to everyone, and he'll formulate his own mind.
Do you ever wish that he would have tapped you to go to the White House? Do you ever think about that?
I think in terms of personality, I think Ivanka's probably the right person to be there.
And though the sons stayed back in Trump Tower, they're still the first ones to defend their family. On full display when Kathy Griffin came out with that disturbing image of the president decapitated.
Naturally, I was pretty disgusted. Everyone who's watching right now saw what happened. They saw my father's response. They saw the First Lady's response about her son and how it affected him. They saw my response. I don't think we've ever been so measured, perhaps on a relative basis. I don't think we did anything inappropriate, but then to run and claim victimhood, and she deserves everything that's coming to her.
And Don tells me he is not ruling out a possible run for office in the future. I asked if it would be New York City mayor, the governorship, Capitol Hill. He says he can see himself running for governor someday. And Eric has more pressing matters. He and his wife are expecting their first son due in September, George.
And Tom, as you pointed out in the piece, the president still profits from the Trump organization, even though he's not controlling it anymore. And there's a controversy over whether a president can actually profit from foreign governments, whether it's a violation of the Constitution. New report out this morning, the Saudis spent about $270,000 at the Trump Hotel.
Yeah, it's a USA Today report. We just confirmed it, and we have a statement from the Trump organization. They tell us, in accordance with our foreign patronage policy, we intend to donate the profits of this transaction at the end of the calendar year.
But one of the things is they say they're going to donate the foreign profits, but they're actually not policing it. It's only if it's reported somewhere else that they're going to donate the profits.
They say it would be impossible because so many people from so many different foreign countries using their hotels, they can't check every single guest.
This is working its way through the courts right now. Tom Yamas, thanks very much.